Disclaimer: all topics in this video are alleged and allegedly, and they are strictly for entertainment purposes only.
Hey, everybody, I do watch you. When you've been doing your posts about me, great job.
Latrice, the goddess.
Jay.
I got my new nose, honey. Let's get it.
I see you.
Okay.
No.
Y'all see that beautiful face? It's Latrice, the goddess, baby, in her goddess length hair. That's right.
Yeah.
Good quality. Listen, y'all. We gonna get caught up with Latrice. Now, y'all seen this past explosive reunion episode, and we're gonna get caught up with Latrice, what she had going on this season, things at the reunion. We're gonna get some things cleared up today, like a fraudulent credit card charge. So let me tell y'all about Latrice. If you don't know, I don't know where you've been, but Latrice Rogers is one of the most loved Belles on the OWN network hit show Belle Collective. Latrice is a self-made millionaire. She is the owner and CEO of Goddess Links, a company that she first started by selling hair out of her car. From there, she got a small office space over there on McWillie Drive, and then she became a vendor for the JSU Supercar. Latrice then got her own store. She made $1 million in her first year. You better come through, Latrice. And then she went on to put a hair vending machine in North Park. Now, y'all know that is the mall, baby. On the opening day of her hair vending machine, it was hundreds of people gathered around. After their response, the CFO let her open more vending machines at other malls. Now, Latrice went on to win the FBA Award for Young Entrepreneur of the Year. She's a graduate of Jackson State University with a degree in biology. Come on, Latrice. And if all those achievements were not enough, this is the one to let you know you've made it. Latrice was featured in Forbes March of 2021 with the article headline, How Beauty Entrepreneur Latrice Rogers Built a Multi-million-dollar Business from the Trunk of Her Car. You better come through, Latrice.
Wait a minute. You did your research, honey. I love it.
But yeah, Latrice, I've been knew about the Belle, baby. I've been knew about you. You are the one.
If I need any information on myself, I need to come ask you, Jay Evans. What's my last
Come on, look. I already know the reviews is good, baby, on you and your company. So
sure. Always.
Let's start it off. We see you as this beautiful, successful millionaire, but what was it like for you when you first started your business? Was it hard?
Honestly, for me, and that's what a lot of people say, like business is hard. Of course, I had to stay consistent with anything you do. Consistency is key. So I had a good product. I mean, the product speaks for itself. So it was kind of like word of mouth. Once I actually established my business and set the foundation and, got my promo models, like once they got a whiff of Goddess Lens, honey, they told everybody and their mama. And it was like a snowball effect. Like it was not, I think maybe like the first week of me starting my business, it was kind of like I might get like one customer a day or something like that. But then it grew so fast. And my husband, he was, because he was always like, oh, well, it'll take 10 years for your business to get off the ground. And, he was telling me stuff like that was discouraging. And I was like, damn, it's going to take 10 years. But when it happened, he was like, oh my God, like, you really getting it in. And come on, let me invest now. It was one of those things. So it really happened really fast. Now, I always tell people, you can't, my journey is not going to be your journey. Just because it went fast for me doesn't mean that it's going to go the same way for you. it was just one of those God-given things, like God, ordained me or destined me to do this, and that's how it played out.
And the hair speaks for itself.
Honey, the product speaks for itself.
How did you feel when you were featured in Forbes? Because that's like a big achievement, especially for anyone Black.
Man, being featured in Forbes, like, it's one of those things you always look at, and I never imagined, like, this was something that was outside of the ordinary, something that I would never imagine. And just being in Forbes, my family was so proud. I was so proud of myself, because it was like that come to Jesus moment, like, oh my God, you really made it. I'm always trying to strive and go higher and higher, because you never, like, nobody's content with themselves. I always think, like, okay, when I reach this milestone, oh, I need to do better. When I reach this milestone. But then when Forbes came, it was like, bitch, you sleeping on yourself, girl. Give yourself your flowers. So, it was one of those self-awakening things.
If you are not one of my apple pies, those are my subscribers. You better go ahead and subscribe. It's a billion, jillion, cajillion people here on YouTube, baby. You might not come across me again. Set your notifications to all. That way you'll get alerts when I upload a new video. Feel free to like, comment below, and share.
Now, how did you come up with the idea of using a vending machine for your hair? Because I was still living in Jackson, and when I say this was like big, they was like, God, it's linked the vending machine. I'm like, what?
I'm glad you asked that question, because when I say my business grew so fast from the trunk of my car to the first brick and mortar, and I was one of those business owners where I felt like I had to answer every call, every text message. That was before I can afford to get employees. So the demand was so massive. They were literally calling me like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, texting me nonstop. Like, it was a freaking hotline. And my husband, he was like, listen, you got to do something about this, because I feel like I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Was like, hey, baby, I'm asleep right now, but I can get you at 6 o'clock a.m. So my husband actually came up with the idea. He was like, why you just want to do kiosk or whatever? Then I started kind of doing a little bit more research into it. And I was like, okay, well, we don't do vending machines or whatever. And we put them in the malls, and it went crazy. Like, first, I thought people were going to look at me and be like, laugh, which some people did. They was like, vending machines in the mall, hair vending machines. When we do something, we kind of, it's uncommon. We laugh like, oh, girl, that shit ain't going to work. But when I say my grand opening, baby, I thought they was going to put me out the mall. There was so many people in there, honey. You would have thought Jordan was giving away J's. It was so many people. So, yeah, that's kind of how the vending machine came about.
And you still have vending machines also at Tennessee State and Alcorn?
Tennessee State. Mm-hmm.
Tennessee State. Because I remember one of my coworkers, we was getting off work, and she's like, come go to the mall with me. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, they got American Jelly. So I'm big. I'm like, okay. We got up in there, Latrice, that line was so long.
Baby, it was, listen, God favors me, and I always give credit to him, which is why, I'm not a malicious person. Your mama always tell you, when you do wrong, follow you. So I always try to make sure I do right by people, because you never know when you're going to have to cross those bridges again. So.
Yes, love it. Now let's talk more here in Goddess Links, your business. You said this on episode 2, titled "Got a Meeting in the Men's Room," and I love this. You said, some people may say Goddess Links is located in the hood, but that's where I originated from, and that's who embraced me. So why not give back to my community? They're the reason that I am the person I am today. You went on to say, I need little girls to continue to come into my store and look at me and say, oh my God, I can be her. And that's why we love you, Latrice. Can you tell us about the hair you sell and the products, because you also sell hair products as well?
Yes. So, of course, you guys saw season 1. I launched Essential Beauty, which is a natural hair care product line. We have shampoo, conditioner, hair serum, which I live by. That's doing absolutely amazing. We got, of course, eyelashes, just anything that pertains to beauty, we offer it. And of course, with the new building that I just purchased, You know,
Ah,
got
go.
doing big things now, honey. So we're actually doing an actual beauty supply store there versus a hair boutique. So I'm excited about that. And of
Okay.
course, you know, I like I said, I always stand on it. Like I want my store to remain in a community that serves me. You know, I'm not gonna say unlike the other women, but everything that I do on the show, I've been doing it prior to. Like Jay Evans, if you know me, then you know I'm a big community advocate. Like I do these big, massive back to school drives. I feed the homeless. Like if you go down my page, this has been stuff that's been going on since 2015, 2014. Listen, I'm not new to this. I've been doing this. I don't do stuff for the show. You
Yeah.
know, my resume speaks for itself.
I know season one, and I wish I would have saved it, but I found the review somebody did. It was a lady, and I think she might have come for hair or something was going on with her. But she said she had an interview, and I don't think her money was right. You helped her with the hair, and you got her a laptop.
Oh, of course. I did an event where, and like I said, all of this is before the show. Like, I'm, I always stand on. It's no ill intent with me. Anything I do it from the heart, and I've been doing it. Like, I don't have to wait till the cameras are on me to act like I'm this type of person. No, people know what's up when it comes to me. That's why the community steps so hard. If somebody come at me or say something about me, I got 100 people behind me, and I don't even know it. They'll be like, "Oh, so and so," or somebody said something about you in the blogs. I got them straight. Like people come behind me because they know what it is when it comes to me.
Yes, they go in, baby. Look, I'll be one of them going in. So y'all
I
go.
appreciate you.
You welcome. Y'all go. If you're not in Jackson or Mississippi, you can go to goddesslents.com. That hat that y'all saw Latrice wear make hair great again. Y'all can get that on there too. And you still
That
take
hat
the
is
supercar.
yes, that hat a head turner, honey. I be if I go somewhere with it, make her great again, baby. The people like they getting out of cars looking at that. Then
So
they're like,
y'all
"Oh,
go
I
get
want
it.
one of those." So
And you still take the ASU car, right?
yes, ASU and JSU, honey.
Okay. And Sezzle, y'all can use Sezzle with your get your installments.
Silver corner afterpay in a firm.
Oh yes, baby. Now Afterpay is what's up. So y'all get y'all hair game up. So let's get into this season. You shared something that to me it is not really spotlighted or discussed enough. Like a lot of women, they don't want to have a baby, and sometimes they feel pressure too. To me, it's like a man, his wife or his girlfriend can have a baby. They back at work. They don't have to make any sacrifices. Not to say it like that, but it's just different. Um, so you touched on this with we saw episode 3 titled Love, Marriage, and No Baby Carriage. You said, a baby to me will slow me down, and he knows that. I just feel like that's one of the things he wants. He wants me to be like the 1960s, where the women are always home taking care of the baby, breastfeeding, cooking, cleaning that, and I just don't have the time right now. What made you decide to share this on TV, and were you nervous about people's reactions? Because that's honest, and a lot of people don't want to admit that.
I was definitely nervous about airing it on TV. Me and my husband went back and forth about, this story. And, he doesn't want people to know the vulnerable side of him. And the vulnerable side of him is that he do want a child with his wife. Like, some people was DMing me like, girl, get that man a baby. He gonna get a baby by somebody else. Honey, no, he wants a baby by me. He had 5 kids. Come on now. Let's be real. It's the reason why my husband want a baby by me. And to me, it didn't come from that place of, let's have a baby because we want to love this child and we want to raise this child. It came from a sense for me of you're doing too much. Let me slow your ass down. And that's just what it was. And on top of that, I deal with so many different issues, especially from my brothers and my father, like men just leaving my life. So it was hard, but I know that a lot of people can relate to my story. Like, it's plenty of girls that grew up in the ghetto that's coming up in the ghetto, that has kind of like a similar background as me. And, it's just, to me, I feel like if I can help somebody from my story, then, you know, I've done my job. Like, I'm here for a reason, a purpose. I'm just not on TV just to, you know, be going back and forth with females. If I can't help the next individual, then, you know, what the hell am I doing?
Okay. Now, I love that. Now, a lot of people, because I read the comments to see what people think, and they were like, well, maybe she should go to counseling, like to help her decide. Do you think you need it or no?
I actually started off going to counseling. I don't think that counseling honestly helped me. It's just one of those things that I just feel like, you know, with time, I eventually get through it. I'm not saying that I never want to have a child. It's just right now while I'm building, like I'm in the midst of building. Honey, I'm all about generational wealth. Regardless if I got a seed right now or not, I need to build. I need to build and get to the level that I feel like I need to be on, and then I want to have a child. You know?
There you go. And I don't think people understood, oh God, that's what you mean.
Yeah, for sure. Hell, when I grew up, it was tough, honey. We listen from the police kicking down the door to, you know, my brothers just feeling like they have to rely on the streets and, you know, end up getting killed or going to jail, or it's just so many different factors that go into the way that I think, you know, when it comes to having a child. And it just right now, not ever, but right now, it's just not for me.
I get it. Now, one of my favorite moments of this whole season with you, Latrice, like you give good reads. Now you gonna read, you gonna show up, the hair gonna look good, and you gonna look good. But I loved when you went to visit your mom, like seeing that interaction did something to me because I'm like that with my grandma. She raised me. And, you know, if I'm going through something, even though I'm in Dallas now, I can call her and she can know the sound of my voice and be like, what's wrong?
Yes.
So she said two things that I want to touch on. The first one that she said that I'm going to ask you. Cliff reminds me of your daddy. Your daddy was jealous-hearted. I couldn't go anywhere. You saw all that and you married your daddy. He wants to give you a child because when you get ready to go somewhere, he's going to tell you a mom's place is at home with her baby. Your daddy was every bit of what Cliff is today. Did Cliff see that episode? And if so, how did he feel about it?
He saw the episode, and him and my mom, they have a great relationship. Like he's one way with me, and he's a whole nother way with my mom because of that respect he has for her. Like, if you want to calm my husband down or just get him to do anything, just call my mom and she's gonna, you know, you would think that that's his woman. But because it came from her and he respects her so much, he just, you know, he laughed at it and he was cool with it. And if it had came from anybody else, he probably would have been on one. But for the most part, he was okay with it.
He knew she was coming from a place of love.
Yes.
Okay. Now, she said this too, and I love this. You got to do what makes you happy, not what makes me happy or somebody else. You have to think about yourself first. She ended it with, ask God for guidance. Remember, it's always your choice to choose what you want to do, but nobody's perfect. How did you feel after you left her? Because me seeing the baby, I want to reach through that screen and hug your mama because she made me feel better.
My mama she's so real. She's one of the strongest women that I know. Like, that lady can have the world when it comes to me, and everybody knows that. You know, I just appreciate being able to come to my mother and for her to give me the real, because you can't go to everybody and they lay it down like that. Like, she doesn't care. She's gonna tell you exactly when you're wrong, when you're right. You know, she's just a mother. And, you know, I always just enjoy our conversations. I always leave our conversations and feel more powerful, you know, like, okay, well, I need to reevaluate this and do it this way. My mom said it, so this is what I need to do.
All right. So tell your mama I said, hey, she don't know me, but I was loving her and she is gorgeous.
Thank you. I would definitely tell her you said it.
Now, another thing that you touch on, Latrice, you touched on a lot of stuff this season, baby. Do you feel like the age difference affects your marriage? Because that was something a lot of people looked at and pointed out.
We have so much love when it comes to my marriage and my husband. I tell everybody that man loves me more than he loves himself, and my family always tell me that. And you can't pray for that type of love. Now, I can't say that the age difference is not a factor, because it is. It's certain things that he doesn't understand that my generation does, that his generation didn't do. So we have conflicts, of course, when it comes to things like that. But at the end of the day, you know, like I said, our love for each other, and then just his drive and my drive, like it matches each other. So it works out.
Were you nervous, like showing your marriage on TV? Because, you know, some people are married and they don't show their spouse because of what might come along with it.
Oh, listen, I'm not worried about anything that I don't think nothing's gonna come along with my spouse. Nothing but this love, honey. But definitely I was nervous the way the people are perceived, like the 20-year age difference, because people are so opinionated when they're not in your life or in your relationship. They tend to, you know, this what's going on, when it's not even the case. So I was definitely nervous about it, but I'm glad I did it, because let's face it, I mean, hell, people talk to older guys all the time, you know, and it doesn't make him my dad. I call him daddy, and, you know, I don't feel like he treats me like his child. You know, I listen, I have to tell him when to eat. I have to tell him what clothes to put on. So it's definitely a balance now.
How do you deal with like some of the feedback? Because, you know, it's going to be some people that are for you, some people that are against you, some people that have like their favorite Belle, and if you're not getting along with their fave, then they got to come for you.
The thing with me is, you know, I know who I am as a person. You know, I know I'm genuine. I know I'm not, you know, what the people think that I am. And honestly, I really don't care to read the reviews. Like, if somebody DM me, I may catch it, but I try not to look at, and of course on Twitter, because we have to live tweet for the show, but I try not to look on certain things, to read certain comments, because that shit'll have you fucking distressed and depressed. And no individual that's not feeding me, financing, or fucking me is gonna have no type of effect on me.
Okay. So you have a new location for Goddess Lens. Is it still in the Jackson area?
Yes, of course it's still in the Jackson area. I always tell people I'm gonna remain in a community that serves me or that supports me. Let's be honest, if I take my business and I go to, say for instance, the Madison, or, you know, the suburbs, my people are not coming there. Baby, I made my first million in the hood, honey. So I can make plenty more.
Okay, look, people be scared to come to Clinton, and that's right next door.
Yes, my people be like, I ain't driving there, baby. So I have to do what's best for me, regardless of what people think. Baby, they show up and they show out for me.
Okay. Now, as far as like future goals or visions for your empire, what other things are you working on that you can tell us about?
Absolutely. So what I can tell you is that Goddess Lens, we're working on some major things. I can't reveal it right now, but other than that, you know, I know a lot of people see me as like a hair guru or just a hair girl in general, but I'm so much more than that. Like, even with my husband, we buy properties, we build. We're in the process of building an Airbnb community. So we're taking out 10 acres of land and we're building 30 micro Airbnb homes on this specific property. You know, I got a recreational facility that we rent out for weddings, and, you know, just so much stuff that I do that it's so much more to Latrice than just hair and makeup. You know, I'm about generational wealth, and, you know, I want to continue to build. So, yeah, maybe you guys will see more in season 3.
Yes, baby, we ready, and congratulations on season 3. So y'all stay tuned for what Latrice is working on. And again, if you are not in the Jackson or Mississippi area, go to goddesslens.com and get your hair game up and get some of that tamer for them edges. They say it works.
You listen, that tamer is a beast, honey. I ship that all the way to Canada and Paris, honey. They be theming for that edge tamer.
Y'all, So this was part 1. Y'all gonna have to get into part 2 where Latrice is about to clear up some things. Latrice, are you ready for part 2?
Y'all better come back tomorrow, October 8th at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. But wait a minute. Here's a little preview. We're going to get into the beef, the feud, baby, with Latrice and Marie.
No, Marie said, oh, Latrice tried to flex for the cameras. And what did she say? I said I came to her and was like, if I get out on you, something like that, something to that nature.
Said, before the camera started rolling for this brunch, she says to me, if I get out on you, don't take it personal. I said, okay, and the cameras went to rolling. Is that true?
That is a complete lie. I was like, we weren't even talking to in one of the episodes, the episode with me and Essie, where it looks like I'm saying, oh yeah, I did. It looks like I'm saying that I went to the blog. No. I never went to a blogger to give him any information. He had all this information.
You better come through, Latrice.
3, 2, 1.
What are you waiting for? Go to that playlist and get caught up on my Divas of Music interview segment. Take a look at the legendary divas I've interviewed.
Want to learn how to dance, anything, and you need somebody to be patient with you. This is who you call.
Who would you want to play you in a biopic of your life story?
Oh my God. I've never been asked this question. Oh my God.
We're not that type of group that was put together. Okay, we put ourselves together. So therefore, that puts a different kind of seal on your relationship. Or
New Edition's manager, Brooke Payne, as well. So we talk about that in the book, like what happened with our journey with Brooke Payne.
Was right. It was the right, our approach to it was correct. But with Get Out, the content was my girlfriend needed to hear that. I needed to hear that. My auntie needed to hear that. Shanika down the street needed to hear like that. That's when I was like, because every time I sang it, it was like,
thank you.
You know that organ is Donny Hathaway.
No, my gosh.
That's
what?
Donny Hathaway. Yep. Because, he was on Atlantic with Aretha, and he played on a lot of her stuff.
Oh, my
That's Donny
gosh.
Hathaway. That's Donny.
You are a genius with your history here, Jay. You're giving me life right now today. I love this. Thank you so much.
Go subscribe. Go get caught up on those videos, and more interviews are coming.